Hey there. Welcome. So, as self-proclaimed Sonic Minecraft YouTuber, I obviously could not make a video about the DLC update that released for the Sonic Minecraft DLC. You don't spend 2 weeks making Twinkle Park in Minecraft and then completely ignore it when the official release gets a new update. So, that's why I'm here. And I found out about this update watching a stream. Somebody commented about it. And at first I was like, maybe this is just a rumor. So I looked up online and I found an article that talked about it. And I was like, okay, maybe it's real. And that article happened to reveal the zone that they were adding. And it was Labyrinth Zone. Now, anybody who has played through Sonic 1 is going to know about Labyrinth Zone. And I personally have played through the game on a DS multi-cart I found in the Walmart bargain bin. And when I saw the word Labyrinth Zone, I started having some flashbacks. So, I wasn't sure what to expect. And I really hoped it was better than the actual Labyrinth Zone, because I think a lot of people can agree that's one of the worst zones that there ever has been. But I was pleasantly surprised. So hopefully showing you what it's about a little bit will help you to understand that maybe it's better than you think. Full disclosure, I suck at this DLC just like I suck at about everything in Minecraft. I'm constantly playing creative mode because survival mode has never interested me much, and I'm terrible at that sort of thing to begin with. Creative just lets me, get my creative juices flowing and, create something. Shocking, I know. But anyways, I had not actually played all 3 of the zones that came with the original DLC. I had unlocked Sky Sanctuary, and I just never got around to playing it. So I played that when I was seeing if my original world would have the update in it after I downloaded the update. And I went through Sky Sanctuary, played through, I think, 1 act, and then I was like, okay, so that's what this is. I wonder what Labyrinth will be. And unfortunately, I don't know if this is just a thing with my personal console or if it's just how the update works. I wasn't able to play the Labyrinth Zone in the original world where I played everything. But not to worry, because Labyrinth Zone is accessible immediately upon entry of a new world now, so you don't have to complete the first 3 zones if you don't feel like doing that again, which I certainly did not. So I get into the new world, and the giant garage door where the 30th anniversary logo was plastered is now gone, and then it reveals that what was behind it, maybe this entire time, maybe not, I never really checked, is this whole area centered around Labyrinth Zone and the Master Emerald. There's a pedestal where the shards you collect will appear, and then there's also a new achievement board which is separate from the main achievement board in the original DLC. And so I boot into the zone, and it's really nice to look at. It's like really cool. I never thought Labyrinth Zone was necessarily a bad aesthetic, but it was filled with water, which was what really ruined it for a lot of people. But funny thing, they apparently decided that the only water that was going to be in this Labyrinth Zone DLC was going to be like 2 feet deep. Like, you can jump into it and you won't die or drown or anything. You can just jump right back out. There are a few pits that you can fall into. Some of them have no bottom, some of them do have a bottom. I, being a terrible player, fell into several of the pits. And there are a few new ideas thrown in, like there are the spears that pop up. These are like a grate of spears, so they come out in a group, and it's a lot like the spikes in the other stages. And then there's also these swinging axes, which I have no luck getting past. and they're kind of just swinging back and forth, and they go super fast. And I personally have a hard time with the sprinting in this game or Sonic DLC. I really think there should be some midway point between, sprinting and whatever the walking pace for this DLC is. Like, you go so freaking slow if you're not holding the sprint button or using the spin dash, and you just take off like a rocket when you do one of those things, and it's like, well, now I can hardly see what's coming because I'm moving too fast. And that kind of is why I don't like playing it as much, and why I am not as good at it as I would like to be. But I still wanted to at least see how far I could get in the zone, and I completed the first act, and then I was into the shop. As per usual, I had not enough money to buy anything, so I just moved on to the second act. And I only got through 2 acts. I got booted out of the second act when I finished the level, got sent to the ring shop, and I had not enough rings to continue, so that was the end of that experience. But it was just like any other zone, I believe. Just you have randomly generated paths made up of predetermined set pieces, and there were a lot of like dead ends that had switches to press to open doors, which was a cool effect, and just really a fun time overall, I think. But still, I'm not very good at it, so maybe if I were better at it, I would enjoy it a little bit more. But I always like to give things a chance, and I see what they were trying to do. I really have to applaud the people who worked on this, especially the people who designed the textures, because I don't know if you've been seeing this, but in addition to the Sonic aesthetic, they've also hidden in some little Minecraft details. Like, you'll see the creeper face on some of the bricks instead of those weird, I was like an eagle and I think an orangutan or something. That's what I always thought it was in the original Sonic 1 zone. But they did that in the first few zones. I don't know if you ever looked closely at the totem poles in Green Hill Zone in this DLC, but the totem poles have villager faces on them, which I think is hilarious. So really, overall, I think this is a great effort, and the fact that we can use the skins that this pack comes with outside of the DLC itself is phenomenal. So I really have to give it to the people who worked on this. It seems like they put a lot of effort into it, and if you haven't checked it out already, then it really would be there's no better time than right now to check it out, because there's more to explore. So I would give it a shot. And you can see here in the second act, I did actually manage to find one of the rooms that contained a Master Emerald shard. And it happened so fast, I didn't even realize what had happened at first, and I was confused why I couldn't progress past this room. It's clear to me now, watching back the footage, the shard was on the pedestal, so now the shard's on this pedestal that was in the hub world. That makes sense, but at the time I was like, why is this room empty? And I got very confused, but that was fun. Now for this last part, I'm just gonna show off the stuff that I built in the creative version of this world that I created. You can actually break into creative mode in, I think, just about any DLC that you buy off of the marketplace. You just have to unlock the settings, and you can choose whatever mode you want. And after that, you pretty much get use of everything that you can see, because if you use the pick block function, you can pick most stuff up. So I've been placing springs and clouds and such. The only problem I found with this particular one is the springs and clouds and all of the objects would not go away. There was no way to get rid of them once they were placed, and that was a bit frustrating. But a lot of the stuff you could break after you placed it, so I was just trying to be more mindful of what I actually did with the springs and clouds and stuff. But building in this DLC was quite nightmarish just as a player, because you're automatically programmed to spin when you jump. So when you're flying, you're technically spinning, and you will not be able to place blocks. And on top of that, there's literally no ground plane outside the lab. So, there's nothing to build on top of. So I had to anchor anything that I was building off of what already existed, essentially, or I wouldn't be able to place the blocks. Then you can see this is the rooftop run thing I built. It's very small, so that's why the video was so short, but it took a while to build it, and I didn't want any of the actual stuff that was structural to appear in the sightlines of this, and that was very hard to achieve. As you can see, the textures kind of got screwed up with the update, and then here you can see there's literally nothing that you can land on outside of the main building. It's really weird. I've never seen anything like this, but I guess that's just how they decided to do it. And then on top of that, there are some stuff out there that I don't even know why it's there. Like, there's this whole thing that looks like chemical plant, but it's not, like playable sections, and I don't know what purpose it serves, because I think maybe it would be where they would draw the set pieces from for the stage, but then it's the only one. Like, there's not one for the other two stages, so I don't know what it's there for. But it is actually where I decided to anchor off the Chow Garden that I did for my very first Minecraft Sonic video. And I don't know if anybody ever thought that was real, but like, I had built the Chow Garden in Minecraft before, and I just could not pass up the opportunity to put actual Chow mobs in the garden. And honestly, I think my garden's better than the one that actually exists in the DLC, because there is like a difference in the way the Chow AI is programmed in that version. Like, the Chow just kind of stand there and maybe babble a little bit, versus in the lab where they walk around, they make sounds, you can pet them still even though you're not in the garden. Like, I just think the lab is a much more interesting place for them. And since this isn't the garden, the AI of the Chow is the same as the lab. So I thought you guys might be interested in seeing this again after the update. You can see the textures in here are a little bit off now as well. And that's part of the reason also that I stopped building this world, was because so many of the textures are different from the original Minecraft textures. Like, they're even different colors from or they're different materials. So I feel much more comfortable building in vanilla Minecraft, or even using a texture pack that just doesn't change things so drastically. I think that seems like a good place to start wrapping things up, but before I go, I just want to say I hope at least one of the people subscribed to this channel enjoys this video. It may not always seem like it, but I do put effort into these, and I know I'm using iMovie mostly because it's free and easy to use, and I haven't found anything that I need to be able to do that it can't accomplish. But like I said, I do try with these. So if you have any suggestions for a zone or level from a Sonic stage that you think would be cool to see in Minecraft, then feel free to chime in with that. But otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.